I am here with the world's funniest comedian, Ismo. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. It's great to be in New Zealand.
So now that's not just me sucking up to you. You legitimately are. That is actually your title, right?
Well, yeah, kind of yes, because I won a competition by that name, so then I basically have the title. It sounds like a bit much, and I don't know if that's like, but yeah, sure, that's the title. Yeah, I kind of like it. It sometimes like sounds a bit flamboyant.
So that was in 2014. So
Yeah.
every year, do you have to kind of like go back and try to reclaim your title for the next year, or?
Well, they're having the competition every 2 years, so they have had one since, and I didn't participate. I was actually hosting the competition after that, so I think one time is enough. So yeah, so it's not like the Olympics. So I think it's like it's more like one of those like what's the talent show, X Factor or something like.
Oh, yeah.
If you win it, you don't go next year again.
Yeah.
So I think I don't have to participate anymore because competitions in comedy are it's not really a sport, so they are tough.
Do you get like a trophy or some sort of certificate or something?
Yeah, I
Or?
got a trophy. I think there's some pictures online with me with the trophy. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
And you're not only a comedian, you're also an actor, you're a singer, you do so much stuff. Like, what would you say? Would you say you're still a comedian, or would you say you're a multi talented entertainer? Or,
Well, I would say comedian because like I'm basically comedian first. And I've done some acting, but normally when I act, I play myself. Like I did a sitcom in Finland where I kind of play myself, so I act, but it's still like more like Seinfeld acting rather than Shakespeare acting. So it's kind of like so yeah, and it's funny. Like I haven't acted anything serious. So and also the songs I do are comedy songs. So it's funny songs. So I if I practice a song, I can sing it, but I won't. I wouldn't say I'm like a professional singer either. So, but as a comedian, I would say I'm a professional. So definitely let's go with comedian. And also the songs I've only done songs in Finnish, and I first did comedy also in Finnish only, but then I switched comedy to English. But songs I have not switched yet, and I don't know if that's gonna ever happen. But I might write some English songs at some point.
how long were you doing comedy for before you started to do it in English?
Well, I started 2002 in Finnish in Finland, and within a year, I basically started to make a living with it. So I became like a professional really early because comedy was starting there, and it was a good time to start also. But then I think 2005 I did like one or two gigs in English. I went to London and just tried it out, some open mics, and it went pretty well. So then I went again 2006 and 7, and then I did Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and 2008 I did it even more. And then I took a pause of English stuff, and I concentrated mostly in Finland. And then I started to do English stuff again. So I think I've been doing English stuff like on and off for I'd say 12 years, but like way less. Like I think, but now the last 2 years I've been doing like mostly English stuff because I moved to America a year and a half ago, and now I've been going to New Zealand. This is the second time here at the festival, and done lots of UK stuff and America stuff, and also Finnish stuff. But now, yeah, so basically, yeah. So English was kind of a side project at first, but then it became the main project.
So you did a Finnish show here in New Zealand, and I heard that a couple people came thinking it was your English one. So when they came, were they laughing along, like just to be polite, or were they really confused throughout the whole show?
Well, actually, yeah, because I had one like I did lots of English shows here in New Zealand, but also I wanted to do one show in Finnish just to see if there's enough Finnish people, and there were like 80 people, and they say that that's the biggest Finnish people gathering ever in New Zealand. They had never arranged anything that there was 80 Finnish people in the same room. So that's kind of history then. And we tried to really market it that nobody would make the mistake that thinking it's an English show. But still, I heard after the show that there were a couple of people who said that they didn't understand anything, and then I heard from somebody else that they were laughing, but they were always laughing in the wrong times. So, so, so they were laughing at something, but nobody knows what. So maybe I have to find them and ask. But what was funny? But they didn't laugh at the jokes; they laughed at something. So maybe Finnish language sounds weird, or Finnish laughter sounds even weirder. So. So yeah, but I think that they were given a refund and they came to see the English show after that. Hopefully, I heard something like that. So that's yeah. So doing a gig in Finnish outside Finland is kind of a long shot, but I tried it now and it went well.
And,
Apart from those two people.
and was this your first time doing it, or have you gone to other countries and done Finnish shows there as well?
Well, I've done actually couple of other things, like Canary Islands. There's lots of Finns living there, so I did a couple of Finnish gigs there once, and then I think I did one in Singapore, also like a small bar for Finnish people. So yeah, but this was the this was the third time then. So yeah, it's possible. Like Finland is about the same size as New Zealand, so it's a small country, but we are kind of spread out. Like there's always when I go somewhere, any city in America, any place in the world, there will be a Finnish person. I think if I go to the moon, I will run into some Finnish people there.
So, do you have any particular joke books or anything that you have as like source material that you use or anything like that?
A joke book? No,
Yeah.
no. When I was a kid, I think I read some joke books because I was always interested in jokes. But now I of course write all my own jokes, and sometimes my wife helps me with that though. But yeah. So now it's just thinking and observing the world, and that's how the material comes together. And yeah. So yeah, it's really hard to always explain where the jokes come from, but they just sometimes there's an idea and then it kind of subconscious molds it, and then it becomes a joke at some point.
Do you ever like perform a joke and then the next show you do the same joke but alter it to make it funnier, or once you write a joke, that's it and you don't change it?
Well, I think all comedians we like the joke evolves. So like, and often it's when you first have the idea and you try it out. It's sometimes the first time is actually easier than the second time, because then the second time you try to repeat it, and then it can be hard because like the first time you have the energy of the first time, but also like the first time is the most difficult because then but you never know what's going to happen. So so that's why we do these workout nights and stuff, so we can just try new stuff without pressure. We tell the audience that we are just trying out ideas, and it's not like a proper gig, so it's important to do those sometimes.
Do you get heckled much?
Well, not very much. Not like when I'm doing English gigs. I think people feel kind of weird heckling me because they that would feel like they are tripping somebody in the Special Olympics, or like it would be like because like English is my second language and they know it. So and sometimes I get heckled, of course, in English, and 9 times out of 10 I don't understand the heckle because comedian when talking to the mic and somebody yells, it's always we hear the mic so loud, it's really hard to hear, and then when it's even like some accent, the most difficult is Edinburgh Fringe because the Scottish accent is the most difficult to understand. So then I have to ask what, and then they say again, and then I still don't hear it, and yeah, so communicating sometimes in it's. Yeah, so don't heckle me, please, that much. Sometimes it's okay, but not that much.
So, who are your comedic idols? Do you have any?
Well, I like lots of comedians. I go through periods. Sometimes I watch a ton of comedy, and then sometimes I don't watch that much. But I like all those who are not now like Louis C.K. and Bill Burr are now like really doing well, and no surprise, they are great. And Doug Stanhope has been my favorite for years. He's an American guy who is kind of has really his own special dark philosophical style, basically. And There's lots of comedians, lots in UK and well, and I think I've seen some New Zealand comedians also, but like always when I'm here, I'm doing so much gigs that there's not much time to see others. So I can't say who is my favorite because I haven't seen enough. But comedy in New Zealand is really great, and actually the festival, it's so like, I was just like wondering that because like Finland is about the same size than New Zealand as a country, as the population, but the New Zealand Comedy Festival,
Oh,
there's no light.
the lights have been turned off.
Hey, maybe there's a sense.
Oh, there we go. The lights are back on. That was weird.
Yeah. I think these are let's save electricity sensors, and then if you're in the toilet taking a shit and you're just playing Candy Crush for too long, then you lose the light, and then you have to start waving. Yeah, so that's nice. Oh, yeah, just been talking about New Zealand Festival, they turned off the electricity. I don't know, maybe they heard. But I was saying positive things, so it's a good festival. Like, Finland is the same size as New Zealand, but the New Zealand Comedy Festival is like 20 times bigger than any Finnish comedy festival. So this is huge, and I really love the festival, how it's arranged, and a month, and there's so many possibilities for comedians. So it's great.
Do you have any tips for upcoming comedians?
Well, keep writing. Like I always think that I have never written my best joke yet. Like I've been writing hours and hours of material, but I always want to write more, because I think one of the pitfalls of comedians is that they write their 5-minute set and then they stick with that for a few years, and then when they get forward they write a 20-minute set and then they stick that for the rest of their lives or something. So many comedians stop writing, which is weird. So I think the best thing is to just keep writing and trying out new jokes all the time.
All right, well, thanks for your time.
Well, thank you.
Tyler and Luke.
Woohoo!